Sports gossip, Ice Cube makes it clear Angel Reese's worth isn't close to Caitlin Clark's. Speaking to TMZ this week, the rapper turned league founder explained that the snub wasn't personal, but it was business. That's all it is, business. Y'all gonna make it personal though.
Angel Reese's sponsorship future is crumbling. Major brands are dropping her, and Ice Cube didn't even consider her for the Big 3 deal. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is being mobbed in Chicago like she's the next Michael Jordan. This shocking dilemma isn't just about basketball. It's a direct statement about their value to the sport. What is Reese doing wrong? And why is Clark outshining her at every turn?
This is what Ice Cube had to say. This is directly from Cube himself. With Caitlin Clark, it was just to unlock millions of dollars for the league. They didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese, so I don't know if we can make that same offer.
Ice Cube made one thing clear when he offered Caitlin Clark $5 million to join the Big 3. This wasn't just a basketball decision. It was a business move. And it wasn't a business Angel Reese was part of. When asked why he specifically wanted Clark, Ice Cube said, "I'm not in the business of losing money." That's about as blunt as it gets.
TMZ Sports caught up with Ice Cube himself at LAX this week, and the Big 3 honcho said that there will be no deal put in front of Angel Reese anytime soon.
Clark, with her sky-high marketability, is seen as a ticket to guaranteed revenue. Reese not so much. This isn't speculation. This is Ice Cube publicly laying out the financial reality of the situation. Offering Clark the deal wasn't just about her skills on the court, but her ability to sell seats, sell jerseys, and bring the noise everywhere she goes. And guess what? She's delivering.
Ice Cube. Because Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth, and there is a portion of this that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation.
Let's talk about Chicago, where Caitlin Clark showed exactly why she's seen as a cash magnet. The moment she hit the city, it turned into a frenzy. Fans were mobbing her for autographs. Her jerseys couldn't stay in stock. She didn't even have to play a game to make an impact. Her presence alone became a massive event. People were calling it a cultural takeover. That's how you know you've got power, when just showing up creates chaos.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, "Come to your trap, take over your trap." What happened to that? Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over.
The crazy thing is this type of reaction isn't new for Clark. Wherever she goes, arenas sell out, even for away games. Her brand thrives on that kind of energy, and sponsors are clearly latching onto it. Ice Cube wasn't handing her $5 million for fun. He crunched the numbers, and Clark's LeBron-level ROI spoke for itself.
And then we got Ice Cube bombing on Angel Reese, talking about, man, she's not worth the money that Caitlin Clark was worth. Caitlin Clark unlocked millions for the WNBA. Oh, we gonna get into all of that.
Now, compare all of that to Angel Reese. Her sponsorship momentum has noticeably stalled. Major campaigns tied to names like Reebok quietly shelved or left with less focus. The buzz that should have been there just isn't. Sponsors are asking themselves the same question Ice Cube did. What's the risk, and where's the money coming from?
And what's hilarious is, this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are gonna be pissed.
And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money, sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are going to be pissed. Right now, Reese doesn't seem to have the immediate pull or market stability brands want.
She's not the player you
build a major campaign around if you're worried about dollars and cents. The reality is in the same spaces where Clark is creating lines that stretch around the block, Reese's name isn't lighting up that same level of excitement.
So, Ice Cube, you see the headline from TMZ. Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlin Clark.
Business is business, and you The men lie, women lie, the numbers don't. It is as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
This doesn't mean Clark is untouchable or that Reese lacks talent, but it does underline just how different their reputations are in terms of brand power. The Big Three's decision to approach Clark and Clark only is like a snapshot of the global basketball market. It screams loud and clear that Clark is seen as the golden ticket, someone who makes investors and sponsors feel secure. Quarters.
Well, they're about to come for Ice Cube. They're about to come and get Ice Cube. We know how this works. It won't be long, but the AR5 fans will seek and destroy, or try to, because that's standard operating procedure for them.
Ice Cube took one look at Clark's trajectory and understood how to bet on success. So, what does this mean for Angel Reese moving forward? Her current struggles off the court go hand in hand with a bigger problem. Sponsorships and public image don't mean much without the numbers to back it up. And that's something that's becoming impossible to ignore.
Listen to the following, Angel Reese fans. Ice Cube told us sponsors assured him Clark coming to his organization would rake in cash hand over fist. But, quote, they didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese.
Angel Reese's sponsorships are quietly vanishing. Or maybe not so quietly if you've been paying attention. The industry is taking a harder look at her value, and the numbers just aren't lining up with the initial hype. Several major campaigns she was reportedly tied to have either stalled or been outright scrapped in recent months.
Ice Cube, just being a smart businessman, a certain demographic won't be too happy with him being honest. So Ice Cube's literally saying, we sat down, looked at the actual figures, and the draw wasn't there.
Let's not forget the Reebok partnership, something that was supposed to cement her brand as a serious player. Instead, it's faded into the background so much you'd be forgiven for thinking it was never as big a deal as it sounded at first. The reality is sponsors seem to be hitting the brakes because Reese isn't delivering the kind of return they were expecting.
See, this is why sometimes you got to learn to leave people alone and mind your own damn business. This is exactly why. You bark up the wrong tree, it might just fall on you.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is thriving in the exact space where Reese is struggling. Clark's ability to attract both fans and dollars is on a whole different level, and sponsors are definitely noticing. Her Chicago moment, described as nothing less than a cultural takeover, was the perfect example of why she's a marketer's dream.
It looked like she took the city over. She took your trap over. Caitlin Clark. Bro, it was more fans running. They was running down on Caitlin Clark like she was Michael Jordan. CC with MJ. CC get treated like MJ in the rack. Oh my God.
Fans were literally chasing her down for autographs. Her jerseys were selling out, and the entire vibe in the city felt like a celebration of her as both an athlete and a brand. That's what sponsors love. Momentum, visibility, excitement, and Clark has it all without even trying too hard. It's the kind of consistency brands crave, and it's left Rhea in her shadow in more ways than one.
Caitlin Clark getting treated like Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan, Chief Keef, Lil Durk, all of them. Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours.
What's even more interesting and honestly kind of sad is how much Reese's brand identity seems to be tangled up with Clark's success.
Think about it.
Every time Reese is in the conversation, it feels like it's somehow tied to
Clark.
Whether it's comparisons on the court, debates over marketability, or sponsorship buzz, Reese rarely stands alone. And that might be her biggest problem.
This is why I say, Angel Reese, you need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn because you cannot measure up. You don't have as many followers you have on Instagram. That is great. I will not take away from the fact that you are one of the bigger brands in the WNBA. You are a star in your own right, but you are not Caitlin Clark. It's a different.
People are starting to notice, and not in a good way. One analyst hit the nail on the head saying, You're good enough to stand on your own now, so why don't you? That constant attachment to Clark isn't helping Reese. In fact, it might be actively working against her. Sponsors don't want what looks like a second-place version of someone else. They want originality, something fresh. Reese isn't giving that right now, and the market is responding.
Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It is as simple as that. It's as simple as that, man. You know, you don't need to keep trying to attach yourself to her.
Brands are picky, especially when they're putting up big money. They don't just want impact. They want predictable impact. Rhea, for all her talent, isn't offering that stability. Her post-championship swagger initially made her a hot commodity, but the actual numbers from campaigns like Reebok haven't matched the buzz.
She's not the draw, folks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Quote, I don't know if we can make that same offer. Cube initially sent the offer Clark's way when she was an Iowa Hawkeye. She would have only needed to have played in 8 regular season games and potentially 2 playoff games to earn the absorbent amount of cash.
If you're a sponsor looking to make a splash, Reese starts to feel less like a sure bet and more like a risky investment. Compare that to Clark, who isn't just moving the needle, she's breaking it. Jersey sales, event turnouts, fan engagement, Clark delivers across the board, and brands are eating it up. That's the difference.
You know, Ice Cube is not in the business of losing money. So, of course, Angel Reese couldn't get offered the 5 M's like Caitlin Clark. Now what are they going to do? Is everybody going to try to cancel Ice Cube for keeping it real and saying, yo, yeah, she's not worth 5 M's. Sorry, Caitlin Clark is.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. Reese's sponsorship decline might not just be about marketability or ROI. Her image and public perception are both taking hits, too. The cracks in her brand are becoming harder to ignore, and it's a problem that's only going to get bigger if she can't turn things around.
Angel Reese was not going to be able to bring in the amount of eyes for the sponsors and for the league for him to justify that offer.
Is Angel Reese really the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball? As one critic claimed, harsh words, sure, but not without some basis when you dig into her recent on-court reputation. That quote has been making its rounds. And while it might sound extreme, it reflects a growing perception issue Rhea can't seem to shake.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else.
Critics have zeroed in on what they call her one-dimensional game, rebounding. Beyond that, they argue her skill set is limited, and she knows it. They even use examples like her hesitating on an easy layup, opting instead to pass the ball, a moment some saw as her avoiding the spotlight on the court altogether. Whether it's fair or not, this reputation is sticking, and it's not doing her any favors.